fresh face, but more of the same. Welcome to Rana Does Music, where today we're looking at the 5th studio album from the Canadian band 3 Days Grace, called Human. This is the first album to feature a new vocalist, Matt Walsh, who up until that point spent his time with My Darkest Days, and is actually the younger brother of member Brad Walsh. A lot of people questioned a 3 Days Grace without the now iconic voice of Adam Gontier, and what we got in the wake of a new singer was at least interesting, but it was for all the wrong reasons. With a new singer, or member in general really, one could imagine that a new feeling, sound, or at least energy would come along with it. But the thing that stuck with me throughout the entire album, listen after listen, because trust me, I listened to this album a lot, because this review was a hard one to write for genuine critical sense. The one thing that stuck with me is that this is just an extension of the Adam Gontier era with no real surface changes besides a slightly different tone and voice. The change in sound is so subtle, in fact, that I initially thought Transit of Venus was when the switchover happened from Adam to Matt, until I looked into things. A lot of songs sound like they were leftovers from Transit sessions, in fact, such as Landmine. Whether it be a self-pursued drive to keep things sounding the same, or the result of something else, there's little to no real difference from album to album and vocalist to vocalist. Going back into Landmine, the song itself also stands as very repetitive and just a piece that comes right after one of the more decent songs on the album. So it's not like they can't make good music under this new format here. Fallen Angel is actually very solid in the fact that it fully leans into the sameness and sounds like something that could even sit on 1X with the moody atmosphere and great lyricism, but it just sits in the same seat as every other song on the album, comparison waiting to be made. This just happened to be one of the better cases of comparison. Too many songs just feel like less good or equal ground versions of other ones, even within the same track list. Fallen Angel is a standout for multiple reasons, including the personal dedication from drummer Neil Sanderson to his late father, but a song later on feels like a track that is just part 2 to the song, without the label. Tell Me Why covers similar ground with less of a direct causation and emotional tug, being a song just about feeling like things are being ripped away from you, but there's no new ground at all for the band. A couple dozen songs, at least at this point, are basic, surface-level croons and complaints about losing something or someone and being distraught about it when you look at the 3 Days Grace discography. And I understand that this is something that comes day in and day out. It's a very common theme for many bands. Many other bands also come back to the well for it time and time again. But there's only so many times you can sing about it or go back to it for an idea for a song. An argument has always been viable for 3 Days Grace albums just being drawn out complaint vents, but never has it been more apparent than here on Human. But at least some songs do go the extra mile to change the sound, such in the late stage song Nothing's Fair in Love and War. It's another basic idea with an admittedly kind of bland chorus outside of the line of Your Hand, My Knife, which just kind of hits a little better. But Matt Walsh puts a different tone of voice to play, and the paced out instruments lean into the story being told with more polish than is seen on most of the rest of the album. As per typical 3 Days Grace fashion, anger comes up too, and in the song So What, it comes through not just cleanly or uniquely, but actually enjoyable at the same time. So What comes in on the last half of the album and has a nice twitching guitar strum complemented by bass that creates a deep thud, especially on the chorus, and is just a quick, pissed off anthem to break up the monotony of loss and depraved sadness. It's almost a sort of hands up, smiling out of spite, anger. Similar intense vibes come with Painkiller, but that song edges on just being a little cheesy with its lyrics, more so than usual, surprisingly. A lot of bands, even my favorite, can write some cheesy stuff, but singing I Can Be Your Painkiller just kind of makes me roll my eyes. Lately I've been trying to apply more thoughts and longer reviews to my work here on the channel, especially with the videos getting shorter and shorter, but nothing sticks out to me enough outside of the brief thoughts I've had here about Human. It's unimpressive and easily a low-tier album from the band, both at the stage in their career that this came out in, and now even in their current/modern era. There's more to hear from the new vocalist, and it was an odd, off album for the rest of the band, and their usually consistent efforts, so I'm not giving up on the album. On the band. I still have a couple more albums to go through. I'm just left wanting something else, something more. For this reason, Human by 3 Days Grace gets a 6.5 out of 10. And that's the review. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. As per usual, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're staying hydrated. I'll see you next time.